All right, welcome everyone to our
We're live.
first NFL best ball stream. We're gonna jump in. I'm actually currently doing a draft. We obviously the official NFL draft is over. Things are kind of settling down. We're gonna start doing these best ball drafts pretty consistently, in hopes that we can get that Willy Wonka golden ticket, make it to the finals. But yeah, we just want to talk today a little bit about the things we're currently seeing, expectations, and how we're going to draft. We really love this format. I mean, we've had a lot of success, both best ball for and NFL and MLB. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of jump in today and Keller. So where do you want to put our focus today?
Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about 2026 best ball strategy. We'll kind of talk through like some of. I think we like each picked out 5 guys that we like. I think this is at ADP, but also just overall, like kind of when we think about our strategy, like why we're gonna, draft those guys. And it's early. I mean, this is the thing is you have to develop an opinion now when you're drafting because if you don't have a theory and you draft without an idea of where you want to go, it's going to be tough sledding. You're going to be like scrambling, at the turns and like you're just like that's not a good strategy. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
And
But
before we
also,
jump in,
go ahead.
before we jump in, Taylor, actually, we talked about on the MLB pod about Jordan Walker and my stand at him at the end of the drafts, and I think that's where you can make more of your stands.
Yeah.
So if let's say you have a flyer at the end of the draft, build a couple of differentiations and then add him to it, right? You don't want just one guy where it's like, oh, this guy busted out and the rest of the team's dead. So I think that's where you can make more of your stands and have that higher group ownership there at the back end of the draft. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on
But
that?
yeah, I don't hate that, but I also like we'll get to Jamar Chase, but sometimes in the second pick and maybe sometimes with the first overall pick, I'll like draft Jamar Chase. And so I could end the season with like 17 to 20% if I really like him. That's not going to be one of the guys we were talking about, but like if I want to make that a strategy, I could do that, right? You could still end up with a guy on a fifth of your teams in the first round, which is like, I mean, some of it's going to be variance based off the draft position, but um, I'm interested to talk to it. We haven't talked about the guys we like, so I'm curious to who you like. I hope if there's overlap, we'll have to pick a sixth guy. So you hear
Yeah,
me, Dylan?
yeah, I
Uh,
think there's going to be some overlap. So
we'll
I'm in
see.
the
But
midst of a draft. I went Jamar Chase one, pick 3 overall, and then I went Jeremiah Love, pick number 22. I know it's kind of a risky. We're not sure. Tyler Algier is there. Believe in the talent. He's prime Adrian Peterson. So
Dylan, okay. So before we jump in, I want you to guess. First of all, yes, this is a Kelvin Benjamin jersey, and no, he wasn't as bad as you thought he was. So
yeah,
let me because this is I want you to take a guess at this. You're a Panthers fan, and I didn't remember before I looked it up. So what was his best season? Okay, it was his rookie season. I'll give you that. His best season. What was his stat line in his best season?
I'm gonna guess 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns.
I mean, that's really close. 73 receptions, 1,008 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I mean,
Like I couldn't have been more spot on.
that's
Just off
close.
the
That's
top.
good.
Yeah, just like
Uh,
he that makes sense.
yeah.
He started
Did-
he started eating the Eddie Lacy diet really quickly,
Yeah.
and he started looking like a tight end and quickly dropped out of the league. Yeah,
Yeah. This is
listen,
why.
we can
This
talk
is
about
why
what the
I like
Panthers draft picks too, but like the Panthers making the playoffs last year, almost putting it to the Rams. I mean, the Panthers
huge.
are a good team
It
now.
was a fun season.
Um,
It's a
the
fun
Chris
season.
Brazil, the Brazil pick doesn't make much sense. I just don't know if he fits on our offense, but I mean, we're gonna be good. Coker's good. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ted Aroa, right,
I think Chuba
obviously a
Hubbard's still
stud.
solid. He's a solid
Dude,
back, and if
I
Jonathan
was
Brooks is,
reading we were reading today, Ted Aroa is putting on some weight. They said he's trying to get back to his college weight. I mean, the guy's already a monster. He could play big slot like Drake London and just absolutely
he's a beast.
feast.
Yeah, dude. What I was gonna say is the reason I look back and remember Kelvin Benjamin fondly is because of the potential, right? He did that in his rookie season. So you imagine this like 5 to 10 year career that he can kind of maintain that. He didn't do that. I think like obviously everything kind of fell off after that. But the Panthers, the reason they're fun right now is because like we're not the Rams where we're supposed to be competing. It's like we're making the playoffs and like trying to take it to the Giants, right? I mean, not the actual New York Giants, but the Giants of the league. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, no one's fighting the Giants. I mean, they fight themselves. John
I
Harbaugh is
mean,
going to change
you
that
could be
team.
soon. You could see Jackson Dart, Cam Scatabo, Malik
Yeah,
Neighbors. I mean,
yeah, I
who's the
suppose.
receiver they drafted? They have they just drafted a guy.
I think more importantly than the guy they drafted is that they brought in Isaiah Likely from the Ravens. I
Yeah,
think he's going to
that's
be a
huge.
fun
That's
tight
huge.
end. Dart was using their tight ends pretty heavily last year. I think he's going to be a good fit in that offense. Likely is.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Well, because I love Theo Johnson. Like Theo Johnson was already like having breakout games last season. Imagine Likely in that role. He's going to be a heavy red zone target for like could likely end up with 10 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah,
is
but
that
he's
out of
also the type of guy, neighbors were not sure exactly when he's going to be back. I know he should be back at the start of the season. How healthy is he going to be? Man, we've always said Isaiah Likely, even coming out of Coastal Carolina, if he just got the playing time, I think he was better than Andrews. He deserved more than Andrews as far as targets and receptions went. But I think, I'm really interested in what that offense is going to look like. I think John Harbaugh is going to kind of mute it a little bit, but yeah, I'm still excited for the future there.
Yeah. How's your draft going? What's happening?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just I'm distracted over here, but yeah, I went. This is an interesting start, probably a little bit more bullish, and maybe I can kick it off then. Talk about one of my top 5 players that I'm looking at early on. So I started Jamar Chase, Love, Higgins, and then Jadarian Price. And Jadarian Price is probably going a little bit earlier than I took him earlier than his ADP suggests. I just think he's the perfect fit in Seattle. He's a little bit small. There was no competition there. Seattle was they just won the Super Bowl, obviously, but no one's there. I mean, Zach Charbonnet might be back week 12, maybe. Right. Yeah. And if Jadarian Price, we see these rookie running backs, if he takes over that role, he's competing with Emmanuel Wilson, who has no money there, no money guaranteed for him, really. So I just think Jadarian Price is going to be an absolute problem. He could score 12, 15 touchdowns. So, I'm heavily interested in him.
I always struggle with these rookie running backs, though. Like, Genty, what was Genty going top 7 last year? And like, he's going again in the first round. I like him kind of at the end of the first round. But like you do, even with him, it's like there's a lot of things that have to go right. Like Seattle, are they going to be as good as they were? And they could be.
Their offensive line is good, and just the way they're coached, the offensive OC there, just it's very conducive to a good running game. And part of the reason is just like, listen, it's funny. This last year, I took down a big CFB for 50K, a big DFS tournament. And part of the reason is Jadarian Price kept stealing Jeremiah Love's touches. I think you remember that is every play you would Jeremiah Love. I needed him to not get an extra 2 points, and Jadarian Price was just ripping runs. I mean, both guys are heavily talented. It doesn't really make sense other than for posterity to have them both on the same best ball team. But listen, it's a young running back game. We talked about this. Teams are moving to 12, 13 personnel. It's going to be a run-heavy league. I like both these guys. They could both be workhorses on their respective teams. They're both going to catch passes. Yeah, so giddy up, Jeremiah Love. Giddy up, Jadarian Price. But Jadarian Price at cost, he's going to be a guy that I'm going to get heavy on. I just don't see any competition for him going until week 12, and I just don't know how good Charbonnet is going to be when he comes back. And if Jadarian Price is already off and running with the role, forget about it. He's going to be the number 1 there.
Interesting. All right, don't hate it. So number 1 is off the board for you, Dylan. Continuing that draft. Good luck. I'm sure you're having some shit. You got to like talk in between your picks. So you need to focus.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to do this in order of ADP. Like, I'm not going to go that guy's the highest ADP as, it's like, it's going to be in no particular order. It's just going to be 5 guys, just so you know that, because I kind of want to bounce around. The first guy, and I'm curious your thoughts. The main reason I want to start here is because I'm just curious. He plays for the Matt LaFleur offense, and it's a quarterback that has arm talent. They could throw, it's for, okay, are you listening?
I'm here. Are you talking about Jordan Love?
No, it's not Jordan Love. He's not one of my guys, but it's a guy that's going to be at the receiving end of him.
Golden?
Yep, Golden.
Yeah, listen, he's a huge boot. He's a perfect best ball player. He's not on my list, but he's a perfect guy that I think kind of underperformed last year. Had a couple of near misses. Can absolutely house balls.
Exactly.
So dive into him a little bit more.
Yeah, that was it too. Like
listen, and before you get to Golden, this is a perfect example of I just got Joe Burrow. Way past ADP. And this is what happens sometimes in these best ball drafts is if you kind of steal Higgins and Chase early, people are just not going to draft Joe Burrow, right? There's no correlation. Everyone knows that, right? So his ADP was 60 and I got him at pick 70. Fell a good 10 picks there. And just that type of correlation is unmatched, right? Getting the Joe Burrow, Higgins, Chase combo is going to feed families this year. So, go ahead.
Yeah. Go. With that said, hold on, one thing too. I think there's also like a courtesy in the league. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's like some people just snipe Burrow for no reason. You're like, you have 2 quarterbacks. You draft Lamar and like Jaden Daniels, and then they just see the guys coming up that's Higgins and Chase, and they take Burrow anyways. To me, it's like, I mean, you can't, like, that's a strategy, I guess, but like, I wouldn't do that to a soul. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm taking Burrow just to like, try to like get one over on you. But
so give me more on Golden. Why do you like Golden?
Yeah. So Golden, part of it, I think what we're talking about, part of it was like a little bit of negative luck. Also, they shipped out Wicks and Romeo Dobbs. So it's just Jaden Reed and Christian Watson there. And so often, this as well. Jaden Reed he usually won't play in 2 wide receiver sets. So you're going to be on the field all the time again. And I think, again, part of it was luck. Part of it was just like he did have some drops and he was a rookie, right? So like some of that is that. But Matt LaFleur always finds a reason to make these guys work. And like Christian Watson, who can be injury prone, I like him a lot too. Like I like that whole offense, honestly. But a guy like Matthew Golden, who's young, who's healthy, I just feel like he's a guy that could go for 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Like that's something to me is in the realm of his outcome. It's like at this price, I'm going to take that. He'll be like a 40%, 50% play as long as he stays healthy and like as long as like nothing crazy happens in camp that we see. Hey, like he's sitting and Jaden Reed's running the 2 receiver sets, because him being in the 2 wide receiver sets with a Jordan Love who had another year under his belt, who can he can average 320 a game. Like, I mean, obviously it's the high end, but like he has that arm talent. And Josh Jacobs getting a little older. I just feel like it's the perfect storm to kind of target these Green Bay pass catchers. And at cost, like I love Matthew Golden. I think you can get him as like your 4th or 5th receiver. And I think as the season gets closer and closer, you're going to see that number go up. Like people will just be like, oh, wait, he's a number 2 receiver on a good offense. Like, why are we not going to draft him? He's too low right now. So he's the first guy. What is your vibe on that? I think you like it. I think I've talked. Not that I had to talk you into it. I think you
like Golden. Once again, he's a better best ball pick, right? Because he's going to have weeks where he probably puts up 0. And that's just the nature of his game. And there's a lot of mouths to feed there, right? So that's the slight concern. Also, I just don't know how good Jordan Love is. I know a lot of people really like him, but just like I don't know how much I can trust him. So, yeah, listen, I love that as far as an upside pick. What's his current ADP? Do you have that?
Yeah, I'm going to it now. That's exactly why I was looking at why you were. Why do that, Dylan? Tell me the guy that you're looking at for number 2.
So, yes.
He's right behind Jalen Coker and like in between Coker and Shaheed. To me, it's just like, I mean, Coker.
I'm a cokehead.
Yeah,
I'm a cokehead, dude. It's funny, like that's his fan group, right? Obviously, but he is Coker's so good for a guy that just had very little draft capital. He's just a baller.
Interesting.
It's just hard to fit that offense.
Is that one of your guys then?
He's not. He's not. There's another guy that I just don't know. I'm a draft capital groupie, I suppose, but I love Carnell Tate this year. I mean, take him 4 overall. I think Cam Ward is going to have a breakout season. And Carnell Tate is already kind of getting steam, right? His ADP is right around 60. But yeah, I think he has a chance to be a good alpha. I mean, you have Wandale Ridley still there, but Wandale is just a PPR merchant. I think Carnell Tate can win some of those downfield routes and just be an absolute menace in best ball. So I really like him a whole lot. Sorry, let me you add to that why I make this pick here. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't hate him. I mean, 2 rookies back to back for you, which is interesting. I think there's like always upside in that. Like, but sometimes we like guys that have the college following will come in and their ADP is a little bit juiced because they're like, hey, it's the guy that performed at Ohio State. I don't think Carnell Tate has as much of that, but like sometimes you get like increased ADP prices because it's a rookie and like, oh, I get to draft a cool new rookie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and so I don't know if they're always a value, but again, they don't have to be a value for them to be part of your strategy. Like if you like, hey, dude, this guy's going to be great this season. I'm going to take a stand 50% on the guy. It doesn't matter if you don't get good value in terms of the ADP on him. It doesn't matter. It's like you still get 50% of that guy at the end of the day. So I think it's like target, make a strategy and just staying with it. It's like over time, you'll get a good portion of that person. But yeah, it wouldn't be like he wouldn't make my list, and I probably won't draft a ton of them. I'll let you go down those streets. How's the draft looking? Good, bad?
It's good. It's going all right. Yeah. So I don't know if you love this, but I'm higher on the Commanders this year. So as my second QB, I took Jaden Daniels.
Okay, this is perfect time. Keep going because this leads into one of my guys. So keep going.
Is your guy Terry McLaurin?
Nope.
Yeah. So I have Jaden Daniels and JCM as kind of a small stack.
I'll tell you who my guy.
And I picked up Ricky Pearsall, who I don't know.
With Mike Evans there.
I think it's gonna help him having a guy like that run the outside. But yeah, we'll see. I still just like his upside. No, we're talking about best ball, right? Still absolute burner. Yeah. So it could still be a problem. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into another one of your guys.
So yeah, so you went Carnell Tate and Jadarian Price, 2 rookies. Interesting. For me, it's not another rookie. It's not a rookie. It's a guy that plays for the Commanders, Dylan. I think he's going to be – okay, there's another trivia game for you here, but it's Chigo Konkwu. And I know I see like this is one thing he will be, and I think he's someone
I say that because I've drafted so much Ben Sinnott in the previous years, hoping he's going to have his. I just don't think he's NFL caliber.
No, dude, this is the truth. If it was Ben Sinnott was going to happen, it would have probably happened last year instead of Bates.
Mm-hmm.
Like he couldn't even beat Bates for the position. There's obviously a hole in the way he plays, or he would have been able to like beat out Bates. But this is why. This is the main reason. So Jaden Daniels in his rookie season, Zach Ertz had like 750 yards and 9 touchdowns. And so like Jaden Daniels has a propensity to target the tight end. And come on, dude, you got to believe that if Jaden Daniels comes back to somewhat of his rookie form, Chico Conku is better than Zach Ertz. I think even in that season, Chico Conku is better than Zach Ertz. He has all the intangibles. Chico Conku could literally, he could have, and also on top of that, Dylan, you just mentioned, but Terry McLaurin is the only receiver there. So like, it's like, oh, Chico Conku could be like what, number 3 or 2 in receiving yards for the Commanders. And if Jaden Daniels is healthy all season, who is a good passer, he could have double-digit touchdowns. It could be the pick of the draft. Like he could be someone that wins someone $2 million this year. I feel like
first of all, dude, scrub that from the records. Chico Conku was not winning anyone $2 million. He's not.
I'm not staking my claim to that. I said we caveat this is early. But you see what I'm saying there? Like, I think you like that too. If you also did you draft Jaden Daniels?
I just don't know what his upside is there.
I just told you his upside. Zach Ertz in Jaden Daniels' rookie season had something like he had like in the 800-yard range and like 9 touchdowns. That is an amazing tight end. I think he was like a top 5 tight end that season. Chico Conku could be a top 5 tight end this season, is what I'm saying.
And you don't listen. He's on the board for me only because of. I think Chig is fine. I just don't know if he's I don't once again.
Who are they throwing to?
Yeah, let me jump in there. It's not a high passing offense. You're not going to get 40 attempts a game, so the targets are going to be muted. Most of them are going to go to McLaurin, right? They just got Antonio Williams from Clemson in the slot, which is not.
This is the problem. You missed this. When Jaden Daniels was when he played the entire rookie season, he targeted his tight end heavily. So like he's always included his tight end heavily, and now they have less options in the receiving game. Like the volume doesn't matter because like he could lead the team in receptions. You've said this with Terry McLaurin as well. Terry McLaurin is not a double-digit reception target type of guy. He is a down.
So their OC just came out and actually said Terry McLaurin needs to get 10 targets a game. I think last year he averaged around 5. So I'm super high on Terry McLaurin. Didn't get him in this draft with Jaden, but he's the pure stacking option with him. Chick could be fine, but Jaden and Terry have a good chemistry, and as we saw 2 seasons ago, last year obviously wasn't great. There was a lot of injuries there, but I think definitely Terry's going to be a big part of what I do this year if I'm playing Jaden.
Dude, it's so obvious to me that like Chiggs, if again stays healthy, Jaden Daniels has to stay healthy. Like Jaden Daniels always has targeted his tight end.
Let's just look at Chigg's past few seasons.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. I understand that, but Chig is more talented than Zach Ertz, and that Zach Ertz is and Jaden Daniels.
The current form of Zach Ertz potentially, but like not Zach Ertz.
Anyone's better than current form of Zach Ertz right now. I don't think he can walk. He got crushed. But I don't know. Dude, again, these are guys that like, and where they're going for me, it's like Chig is like barely a top 20. He's not even in the top 20 of tight ends. Dude, I take him over Mark Andrews every day. Like, especially this form of Mark Andrews. It's like,
you're not wrong, and Chig's on my team now because of that, because of what you said. I just, once again at tight end, you're not really moving the needle too much.
But you can, because it's like then you don't have to waste other picks. It's not that you're moving. It's like, oh, this guy I know can give me 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. But I don't know. All right,
Taylor, listen, jump into your next guy while I do some more draft picks.
Okay, how's your team looking? That's 2 for me, Chig, and all right, let me see. All right, number 3 is gonna be Ladd. So this is a guy I told you I wouldn't go in any particular order for ADP, but Ladd is a guy that, again, I think I lean into the luck a little bit here as well. A guy that ended up to be, it's just like he was there all season, just had a couple, and he had like 1 or 2 okay games. And this is somewhat biased to me because I drafted so much of him last season, and I like the Chargers offense. But But now there's going to be no Keenan Allen, right? Like for the most part, like I don't, unless they decide to bring him back. But I imagine like they're just probably not going to. And you can imagine now Ladd goes back in that role where he's getting double-digit targets every game, and he's super talented. He's such an elite route runner. He's got great hands. So, and I believe in Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's probably like a top 3 quarterback in the league, and just raw arm talent. And now they have a new Mike McDaniels is there. I just feel like there's a lot of things moving in the right direction for the Chargers, and it's going to be a lot of Ladd again. And he may fool me once.
Yeah, I love Ladd. I love Ladd so much. I just Mike McDaniel there. They're going to use a lot of different motion. Marion Hampton, another guy, just an absolute stud. I don't know if he's on your list, but yeah, he's 100% a giddy up play for me.
Yeah, so it's Golden, it's Ladd, it is Okonkwo. Those are my 3 so far. Who's your third?
Yeah, so we're going to dive really deep for this one before we get guys that are actually NFL football players. But I
hope you don't steal my guy. I hope you don't steal
my last pick of the draft, I'm going to be drafting Katron Allen a whole lot. And do you want the reason why? Yeah. Do you want to hear my
next pick will be just as gross. So I want to hear your reason.
Yeah, so there's multiple ways you can look at this. Sorry, let me just make this draft pick really quickly, and then we'll jump in there. All right, so Katron Allen obviously was a workhorse at Penn State. I think there was only low-digit teens drafted running backs this year. I think it was a 6-rounder, right? Which doesn't matter, but he's competing with obviously Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, who I had at draft, Rachaad White, really just more of a passing down back at this point. But Katron Allen can absolutely win this job. We'll see how he does in camp. He's going to get touches. We saw last year they rotated backs. Like Chris Rodriguez is now going to be able to lead back for the Jaguars there. So yeah, Katron Allen as the last pick of the draft. Would I be surprised by week 7 or 8 if he's leading the backfield? I would not. So like getting a guy like this, we know a lot of teams are running that 12, 13 personnel, more rush attempts. I think just Katron Allen could get 5 to 6 rush attempts a game. And if he runs with it, he could absolutely steal the job. Yeah, so Katron Allen as my last pick. I'm going to get a good percentage. And listen, he could be dead by training camp and just all the news on him be horrible. But what I saw at Penn State, I really liked. And listen, I was a big Nick Singleton guy, and he just beat him out. And Nick Singleton obviously looked bad and still has some of that explosive movement we like to see. But I just think Katron Allen can absolutely be a fit in this Commanders offense.
Yeah, I like it. Honestly, I've been looking for someone in the late rounds as a running back. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Like JCM is not going to be on every down. I mean, he's still like, and Rachaad White's getting older. Rachaad White may get hurt. If he does get hurt, Katron Allen will fill a role there. And honestly, if you can get 2 scorable weeks out of your last round pick, it's an amazing pick, right? If you get 2 scorable weeks, right, Dylan, in the entire season out of your last round pick, that is a win at that draft position. Because my 4th guy, dude, it's also, an interesting trend for you. You are a rookie guy. It's like every pick for you has been a rookie.
You know what it is obviously it's the excitement of the NFL draft, and this will change. Yeah. But it's also, in funny in MLB best ball, I was like Trout and Buxton guy. But in football, I've really become more of an ageist, and I think these guys coming out of college are way more NFL ready. As kind of evidence of the rookies last year, I just think we're going to see more and more of that. So yeah, I'm especially I'm trying to look as the league is transitioning. Kind of, we were past and now we're going back more run heavy. So these rookie running backs, I'm gonna be kind of holding water for them in the hopes that trend does stay put.
Well, I hope your next guy's not a rookie because you can't. I'm not gonna allow you 5 rookies. Okay, but I'll go next. I'll go next because you reach deeply into your bag. I will reach even deeper, and this is a guy. I don't even think you could guess. I could probably give you 200 guesses, and you probably would never even think.
Give it to me. I'm sure it's going to be
the tight end for the New Orleans Saints, and part of this is like the different packages.
Johnson?
What?
Juwan Johnson?
No.
Who's the tight end for the Saints right now? What do you mean? Juwan's not there?
Juwan Johnson starting. That's what I mean. That's what I meant by
backup tight ends. Listen, whatever he said, just
no. Discredit himself. This is the guy. Also, I've heard other people say this as well. Like people in the industry compare like they're like he has the skill set to George Kittle. This is what we've heard. And he was like an elite, like I think he was like the number 1 ranked prospect at his position in college and didn't really deliver that. But his name is Oscar Delp, and I think you remember the name.
Yeah, Georgia boy.
Yeah, so this is what people, and again, people have comped him to a George Kittle-like guy. I think in the 12 personnel packages, he's going to be out there more, but also like Juwan Johnson getting older. Like I don't Taysom Hill is probably not going to be a thing this year. And I just feel like there's ups. Like, again, this is the last pick of your draft. You have 2 tight ends. Throw Oscar Delp on there as a fun, hey, this guy could break out and be a big part of the offense. The Saints are a young team. They want to throw their young guys in there. They're already good. They're going to do it at receiver. They're going to do it at running back. They're going to do it at quarterback. They're doing it. Like, why not throw your tight end who's going to be a part of the future out there for more snaps? And he's an elitely talented tight end as well. So, I don't know. Oscar Delp, I get that is super deep in the bag. Dylan.
No.
And I know that.
No.
Yeah.
Mostly because you just can't. Juwan Johnson was very good last year by all metrics. He's going to be the number one. Delp is fine. Yeah, everyone's looking for the next Brock Bowers. He is not him, confirmed. I just don't think he's getting enough playing time. They drafted a receiver high. Obviously, you're going to have Olave there. It's just not going to be – he's not going to get enough targets, I don't think. I could say if he set his targets at 40 over under, I'd just smash the under. I mean, I think he's going to get maybe 15 to 20 catches this year at best.
I mean, yeah, I think that's probably close, but like again, this is the last pick in the draft and a guy that could score for you in a week, potentially, especially if he gets more run and the Saints are not in contention. They want to get their rookie looks. I don't know. This is someone that we could see pop up late in the best ball playoffs. So we shall see. That was number 4 for me. So, but that's the only rookie I've played and picked in this format. It's Delp, it's Golden, it's Lad, and it's Chiggy Bang Bang. So
yeah, and listen, the double tight end is absolutely disgusting, and I hate what you've done.
It's good. No. It's not double tight end. I'm not building a team. I'm drafting.
No, I'm just talking about double tight end as far as like the guys.
Take state value. This is the thing.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm missing because I'm not always talking about 12, 13 personnel. Those guys are going to be on the field more blocking. Delp is going to be on the field blocking.
You know, dude, first of all, there will be plays. Delp is an elite talented pass catching tight end. Like that was his role. Like, I mean, again, he didn't deliver in college. Yeah. That doesn't mean everything, but all right. Well, give me a fourth guy. Give me your fourth guy.
This guy, going to be incredibly high on. I think he has wide receiver 1 overall upside, and that is none other than Drake London. And why? And I don't argue about this last year. He, the big slot is such a good role. He wasn't playing that to start the season, had a little bit lower numbers. Dude, and now you get a guy like Tua who's just going to feed that. He's just going to feed him. And Tua is far more accurate than Michael Penix is. Just the facts. I mean, he's concussion prone, obviously. He's prone to getting absolutely Medusa zapped. But yeah, Drake London is going to be an absolute menace if he can stay healthy. He's had a little bit of health concerns as well. But the guy out of the slot is just an absolute. He's unguardable. And I think Tua is going to find him across the middle of the field a lot, especially if Pitts ships out, there's some rumbling there. Yeah, Drake London is an absolute guy I'm targeting early and often right now. I think it's going to be a good chance for him to succeed this year. And listen, let's just take a little bit of what we saw Tua doing. He was feeding his tight end in Miami. And I think that, like, just from that big slot position, we're going to see Drake London feast. And I think if you just keep that role, keep him
play too. He won't play the big slot, but Kyle Pitts will play. I mean, he's going to be out there.
What are your thoughts on that? I know Drake London's.
I don't know. I think the Tua wild card is a bit concerning. Like Drake having to play with like multiple different quarterbacks in a year, basically 3 different quarterbacks in a year is going to be a lot. Like that is somewhat concerning because there's a mystery there and you're drafting high. Like that's basically your second pick in every draft, right? Like you have to get him in the second round or you're not going to get him. So like he becomes a priority. So it's really, what do the guys around him look like? And where is my, like, who did I draft first overall? Like, did I draft a running back? Do I want a high upside receiver potentially? But like, he won't be a heavy target for me. I will sprinkle him in, but I think there's too much mystery in Atlanta. And obviously the star of the show there is none other than Bijan Robinson. So like, at the end of the day, it's like that guy will be involved, and Kyle Pitts will be involved as well for sure, right? Like Tua has historically liked using his tight end, so like Kyle Pitts will be out there. I just don't like I don't trust the price that you have to pay, so it's not going to be a heavy exposure for me. I'll add him to bits and pieces of teams, but yeah. Interesting. I like that you did not pick a rookie. Right? That's a nice.
Yeah, I just like it. It's one of these guys. I think if he's healthier in full season, Tua is finding him a lot. He could be wide receiver 1 overall, just with the type of volume he could get. I mean, he's an 8 to 10 catch guy, and we're talking about PPR format, right? He could absolutely eat in that format. So, man, you ever draft and just absolutely get sniped at every position?
Is that what happened?
It's happened to me multiple times now. How about Katron Allen getting sniped? You know. No one's listening to this, obviously, but it's one of those things like, what are we doing? You know, people have seen the same. And another guy was targeting here at the end of the draft is just Stowers. So what I've done, I can talk about my last 3 picks. Just find, the handcuffs, right? So Emmanuel Wilson's
is
here.
this your fifth guy? Is this your fifth guy? Is this your fifth guy?
No, I'm not talking about my fifth guy yet. I'm about to. You're gonna go to
Okay.
your fifth, and then I'll do mine. But I've drafted Emmanuel Wilson here, just as a kind of a handcuff for Jadarian Price. Everyone's using multiple running backs, so yeah, I kind of just was like, okay, I'll bite the bullet there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who's your fifth?
Okay, this guy, and I talked to, and like I haven't had any rookies. I feel like I gotta throw a rookie up there, and this is a guy I kind of like. I think that the hype will be kind of high, but again, just because you're buying at a peak hype doesn't mean he's not going to produce, right? Like it doesn't matter that a guy is overvalued in the market if the guy ends up being top 10 or top 15 at his position. Like to me, that is a like again, pick your spots. And this is Jordan Tyson, so. It's somewhat. I like him a lot mainly because like I do like to say what we saw from Tyler Shuz was good, dude. Like he looked great. He led that offense and like they almost made the playoffs. Like down the stretch, they looked phenomenal. And they have a good young team. Like obviously they brought in ETN, who's a good pass catcher. It's just like they want to move the ball down the field. You saw it multiple times last season. I think Tyler Shuz in his second season, like could he get better? Did he play at Texas Tech, Dylan? Didn't he play at Texas Tech, Tyler Shuz?
Tyson?
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Shuz. Yeah, he was like a guy that's played in college for 27 years. Yeah, but I think he did. No, let me just check. For some reason, I'm thinking Cincinnati, but I'm not sure.
Dude, but we saw Jordan Tyson at Arizona State just ball out. Like he's so good, man. And so like I think he'll be a priority for me.
Texas
what?
Texas Tech. You're right.
That's where Patrick Mahomes played, right?
Yeah.
The reason I was gonna make a comp, I was gonna like not that he's Patrick Mahomes, right? But like he could be that guy that was like, oh, like he was good in college, threw for what 6,000 yards, 75 touchdowns. You know, these guys that just like balled out. But we could see like maybe he's gonna be the next, and he runs a little bit too. Like as long as he doesn't get hurt, like he rushed for multiple touchdowns last season. But I think a sneaky way to attack the draft too is throw some Saints pieces. Obviously, I mentioned Oscar Delp, like that is a deep sleeper, but I think there's value to him at the end. Not value to him. I think there's an interesting team construction there at the end of the draft. If you have like, two other tight ends, you just want to throw him on. Maybe you have George Kittle. No, actually, I wouldn't do that with George Kittle because he's coming back injured. But yeah, my fifth guy was Jordan Tyson. So I threw one rookie in there for you just to be, there. But what is your
you ready for this? This is probably my favorite guy. I saved for last. I think he's been undrafted most of the drafts I've been in.
Damn, you did two deep polls.
Wide receiver one for the Las Vegas Raiders. Who am I talking about?
I don't know. Not Jack Beck, not Trey Tucker.
It's Mr. Jack Beck. It surely is.
But we have to see it.
We talk about this every year. He has the potential to be the wide receiver one for Mendoza. He just seems like a guy Mendoza would like. There's no other things other than
this is a heavy feel.
This is a feel, but we know wide receiver twos always take a step forward. I mean, year two wide receivers always take a step forward. Yeah. That's going to be him this year. I think the offense is going to be better. Part of the reason there was obviously Trey Tucker had that massive Millie winning slate, but part of the reason no one really had any consistency there, the team was just bad. The team is going to be better this year. Mendoza is going to make them better. Jack Beck could have 1,000 yards this year, and I would not be shocked in the slightest. I like his kind of size. I think he's going to be. I mean, think about it. We don't have a clear wide receiver.
Are they going to let Mendoza in college didn't air it out that much? Like they have Genty. Maybe
you don't draft a guy one overall and hide him. Listen, I see what you're saying. He's going to throw. Mendoza's going to throw for 35 to 4,000 yards. I mean, he just is, right? And who's going to get those yards? This is the current depth chart, right? We have Jalen Naylor transferred in. Signed there, and Trey Tucker, and then you have Jack Beck. These are all projected starters. They did draft Malik Benson there, but nothing special. I mean, I think Jack Beck, obviously, they spent some draft capital on last year. Once again, I'll harken this back. Year two wide receivers always take a step forward. I really think we could see a big improvement from Jack Beck. And let's just say, Mendoza doesn't win the job right away. I think Jack Beck's going to be fine with Kirk Cousins. I just think for a guy that's going undrafted, you could do a lot worse than a guy that has potential wide receiver one in his offense upside, like Jack Beck does. And I believe in the kid. I think he's going to work hard enough. And he has the size. He could be a real red zone threat there. Yeah, so Jack Beck is probably my favorite we talked about today. It's a guy that's eventually going to start getting drafted. But these first few drafts I've done has been undrafted. And just with the uncertainty there for the Raiders, take a stab.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that. Like, I think you can barely draft any. I just don't know what their offense will look like, Dylan. That's the thing. I mean, I'm looking at the guys he's getting drafted around.
He's
Who would
going
I rather
undrafted.
have? And I don't know. To me, it's like in his ranking is like Malik Washington for Miami. Like, does he finish better than Malik Washington? Like, who is now
It's
like
we don't care where they finish. We care about the upside.
yeah.
Malik Washington with Willis there doesn't have the same upside Jack Beck does as a
Okay.
potential number
Uh,
one target. So this just the
I don't
truth.
hate it.
I mean,
I don't. Maybe it's not the worst play. I see it. We saw him in college at TCU. He was like, or is he at Kansas State? He was at TCU, I think.
it was TCU.
But
Yeah. So
he was elite in college, but I don't know. I just there wasn't enough that we saw last year that makes me feel like
we didn't see anything from the Raiders. I mean, with Genty, we saw two big games, and
it is. But to your point, it could really pay off. But this is a big gamble because it's like there is a.
But it's not. Listen, how big is it? How big is it when he's your last pick?
It's no bigger than Oscar Bell. Like if you're in between those two guys, like
it's you take Jack Beck every time because Jack Beck.
No, I don't think so. It depends.
Jack Beck is a starter for the Raiders. Oscar Dell might not see the field this year. That's a fact. Don't say it's a toss-up.
That's true.
You're talking about Delp is only valuable if Jawan Johnson gets hurt. They're not running two tight ends out there every play. It's just a fact.
Yeah, you're right.
So like you take Jack Beck with a potential wide receiver one Raider upside. This is just the truth, right? He's a physical guy. We could see him and Mendoza thrive. I always like getting these young players who, like, obviously year two wide receiver, you get a new quarterback. If he becomes like, and I don't want to slander Cooper Kupp, but I could totally see Jack Beck playing that Cooper Kupp role, being a high PPR guy. I think he has a very similar game, a very physical guy. So yeah, I think Jack Beck is going to be a guy I'm very high on. And I think you're going to see him get steamed. I don't think I'll be alone, but yeah, he's a guy I'm definitely making a stand on.
He's a guy I'll digest that pick and decide. And I don't hate it. I'll have to look at the draft.
What do you think about my Cooper Kupp comp there?
Interesting. I think what we should do is like let's do this like every couple of weeks and we'll come back and just talk. But I want my 5 guys to change because I will
have to change. ADP is going to change. But
listen, I also will develop a strategy based off of like where people are drafting. And this is early. I've done 2 drafts, like 3 drafts. It's been so little. I don't have enough data. But like
put it on a shirt. Jack Beck equals prime Cooper Kupp. Jack Beck. Listen. It's just there's so much synergy there for me. He's a round 2 draft.
You're building such a beautiful story in your mind. You built the most beautiful story.
We talk about
rainbows and butterflies. And
beautiful stories. The Tiger gets mowed down in New Orleans, and I just think Jack Beck is going to be the type of kid that can absolutely thrive in this new offense. They're going to run there. And he's just once again, we're looking for opportunity. You're never going to get. We talked about Drake London, who I love, right? But you cannot get value on these guys. If Jack Beck, let's just say he throws 700, catches 800 yards, he's going to be going, much higher than actually. And let's see if there's any more upside. If that offense really takes a step forward, and Jack Beck is the leader at the wide receiver core, we didn't mention this, and it seems shameful that we didn't. But obviously, you have him competing with Brock Bowers. But I just think it helps. I think it helps him to have a guy like Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty on the offense. So yeah, I think Jack Beck.
I don't hate it. Again, I will sit on it. Those are our 5 guys. Before we wrap, I want to go through my 5. I think we've named it, so it doesn't matter. But I want to go through like the 5 teams you're targeting because I haven't. This is off the cuff too. I haven't really thought about it much, but these are like teams I will target in best ball. And I think there'll be some of the same here. But the 5 for me, like no particular order, is the Bengals. So I think you're in alignment with.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers will be a top 5 as well. This is a somewhat, maybe we differ here, but New Orleans will be a target for me. I think at running back, at receiver, I think there's interesting options. Obviously, I have already stated my interest. I stated my interest in this team, but the last 2 are Green Bay for me as well, and then Washington, who also I think you like. So,
yeah, there's a lot of synergy there. The one I would add is
so 6. Well, let's add your 6th.
Just attacking uncertain spots, like how we talked about Vegas. Maybe Vegas taking a step forward. Maybe getting the Genty.
I don't hate having Genty and like Besh and like you can't draft a quarterback in my opinion. I think
that's my thing is just getting Genty
like a little two man best ball. I don't hate that, dude. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, another team. Obviously we didn't talk about the Saints. This guy on the Saints, but Travis Etienne. As Travis Etienne is how it's pronounced, not Etienne, apparently, right? So we're
I talked to him. I brought him up. I said the reason I like the offense is because they're Travis Etienne.
Yeah,
there. Why do people call Travis Etienne because of Devon?
It's gonna be so confusing now. It's gonna be so confusing. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good offense there. And Tyler Shaw actually showed some wheels last year, so yeah, he's gonna be a fun.
He rushed for multiple touchdowns. And he had in like multiple games, he had multiple rushing touchdowns. Like he was phenomenal.
Teams I'm selling on. Let's just talk about teams where I'm selling on Pittsburgh. I just Pittman, Metcalf. I just don't know how to kind of parse that out, and the backfield's a mess. I don't love it there.
Jeremy Bernard.
That's
like I what I'm saying is I don't know what to do because it's like, okay, you have a young guy, like you have these guys that are older that are going to want playing time. You have Pat Freiermuth, you have Darnell Washington. Is who else was Jonnu Smith still there? I think he's still there. You see what I'm saying? It's like who do you get from the offense? And it's Aaron Rodgers. Like they're going to
maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe not Aaron Rodgers at the same time.
Yeah, it could be Mason Rudolph. Like who knows? Like unless they trade for somebody, but who would they trade for? I like Washington and Green Bay a lot. Like those are two I mentioned at the end, but I like a lot of their pieces from their teams. Those teams obviously a lot of my 5 guys match those teams anyways.
Yeah, one other team I'd add is just the jersey you got on Big Dog, and that's the Carolina Panthers. I think the offense is going to be good, and I think if you look at our draft picks, it looks like we're going to actually air the ball out a little bit more. Chuba Hubbard was not very good last year. I hope Jonathan Brooks is back and healthy because I would love to draft some of him. I need to see it. I need to see it first, though. I need to see it. He's healthy.
This is a guy that I do feel like you draft with Chubb. You have to. I did it in a draft already. I drafted Chubb in him because I feel like whoever gets the role there is going to be valuable. Whoever plays the role, as we saw last season when it was Rico Dowdle, Dylan, how valuable is Rico Dowdle? It's like if Brooks is healthy, it's like you want both of them, and like he may not be healthy until like game 4 or 5. But what if he takes over the role? It's like, oh, Chubb could have scored for you those 4 weeks, but like you want Jonathan Brooks, who could now be a league winner. But there's also merit to be like Chuba starts well and he ends the season with 20 touchdowns, right? Like there's a path to that too. So 20 touchdowns at a time, maybe 16, 17 touchdowns. But is your draft ever? Did you finish it? Was that difficult to do while also doing this?
No, it's they string it at 20 seconds, and I think that's fine. Another thing I like to do for Best Ball Mania is really just do a slow drafts, enter a whole bunch, and then we'll do that for some of the larger drafts. I don't think they have any of those in the public yet, do they? Let's talk about the contest.
Yeah. And obviously you have the big one in Underdog, and then you have the big DraftKings one.
No, let's talk about the side. Yeah, they have the Big Dog, which is the $500 entry million prizes. And those are the kind of ones that I will enter, but I'll slow draft. The problem with the fast draft in 20 seconds and doing multiple things is you miss a pick. And sometimes that's fine. You're just like, oh, the team's a little bit different. Sometimes it's a guy that's out for the season. And that's just –
yeah, it is almost like we talked about that strategy. It's almost like if you don't have the time to do it, just do a slow draft. Mm-hmm. You will thank yourself later. If not, you'll end up with a guy you marked at like 12th overall and you'll draft a quarterback. You'll draft Patrick Mahomes, who you marked, and you didn't mark anyone else.
This is a team we just drafted, so let me just jump on and just run through it and let's give it a grade. I don't love it, so I'll be honest about my grade with it. So projection, which means 0. So quarterback, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. Running back, you ready?
Yep.
I went 2.682. Love, Price, JCM, Tyler Algier, Mike Washington. Don't love him as the kind of backup to Genty there, but he's fine. I mean, he's absolute physical tool.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, for sure.
And then Emmanuel Wilson is just another handcuff. And then receiver room is a little thin at the bottom, I think. Jamar Chase 1, T. Higgins is my 2, Carnell Tate, who I really do like, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan, Antonio Williams slot for Commanders. Like him a lot. Jerry Jeudy, don't really love that pick. I don't even know if he fits anywhere this year for Cleveland. And then Jack Cooper Kupp back. And then tight ends Isaiah Likely and Shig.
Interesting. All right, don't hate it.
I'll give it a C. Honestly, it's a C. It's a C at best. Yeah, it's not my finest work, but
I don't love your receivers. I think there's some question marks there for sure.
I do. We need to jump off, but there's Jack Beck is my Jordan Walker call of the NFL year, and I'm just gonna be.
But you're calling it. So you're not only you're calling the Jack Beck call early, you're calling the Jordan Walker call early. It's like, yeah, he was a good
Jordan Walker is batting 308 with 9 home runs and 6 stolen bases. I told you this. If he ends the season now, it's been a fine season. He was going undrafted when I was drafting him at the beginning of the season. And listen, he is on pace for what, a 30-20 season? I mean,
yeah.
The other game, he just tore up the Dodgers. He went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles and a stolen base. Jordan Walker is an absolute man amongst boys out there, and he's going to be just fine. Yeah, Jack Beck is my call there. You can't get him all right, but yeah, he's going to be a guy I'm super heavy on, especially if he's going undrafted currently. Love to get him in places where people are just not drafting him because of the uncertainty there. They did not draft a wide receiver high in the draft rate, and that tells me something about that wide receiver room is they believe in their guys there. So yeah, I'm all in.
Any receivers in the draft.
There's plenty. There's plenty of receivers. How are you going to draft a QB1 at 1 overall and not pair any talent with him if you lacked in that area?
So the draft was pretty weak this season overall, though. Ultimately,
listen, but once again, there's still a lot of talented wide receivers in the draft.
The
NFL and the college football, the lines are blurring a little bit. There's some of these guys that are definitely. Listen, Julio 2.0 at Ohio State is going to come out and just absolutely dominate guys.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah Smith. We'll revisit these because I think every couple weeks, like I'll develop an opinion about different players. We should talk about that. And
because you have to build your theories now and see
you have to have a frame of mind going into draft. If not, then it's a chaos. And then you see these people draft teams like, oh, dude, they had no idea what they were doing, or they just weren't taking the time to be thoughtful.
That's my favorite pastime. As when people do jump to the drafts and just go through the teams that are just immediately dead, because it happens way more frequently than you think. Just teams that are. It's like
you have to 20% of the field by just paying attention to your draft.
Yeah, and we'll jump back on. So when the schedule comes out, which is always schedule release is always so fun, and we'll jump through and look at week 17, kind of championship weeks, playoff weeks, and jump through and just see okay. Maybe matchups we can target, and you don't want to put too much lean on that, but you have to put some bit of lean because, listen, last year we had the Cardinals just tearing it up with Jacoby Brissett, and those stacks were eating, but it was Jacoby Brissett, not Kyler Murray, right? So there's so many teams up there that had those.
My best team had Michael Wilson.
Yeah,
and Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray though, so that hurt me.
That's exactly my point right there. Is no one was drafting Brissett there, but yeah. So that's all I have today. I think schedule release. Before we jump out, what's schedule release?
Yeah, pull it up.
Schedule release. Mid-May, around the 13th or 14th. So probably about 1 or 2 weeks from now.
Check.
And that's always a fun time to jump in because you do want to make sure, Taylor, that you're not facing Seattle week 17. Oh, that's not your main stack.
Or it's Cincinnati versus Seattle. Then you're like, do I – because at that point, Cincinnati versus Seattle, does that make you move off the guys you like at the top? Does that put Bijan Robinson over Jamar Chase or Jahmyr Gibbs?
It definitely moves the needle for me, especially a team like Seattle, who's just absolutely uber talented. And the speed.
Or Houston. It's like the same type of. It's like, do you want?
I've seen Houston. Yeah, it's just this
part of maybe better defensively.
Part of it's defensive scheme and the way the offense also runs. I think Houston was gettable at times. Because they were always on the field, where Seattle's offense was competent, and when they would score and they would be pretty consistent and hold the ball for a long period of time, where Houston's offense was so bad at times, they were just Houston's defense was.
Yeah, but I think they'll be better this year. They're going to run it down the field with David Montgomery there, like they have now.
I'm selling on them. David Montgomery's just
Nico Collins is a top 5
Nico Ballins is amazing. We love that guy so much, but David Montgomery's not special.
But he's better than what they had last season, and that's a fact. He's better than Woody Marks, and it's not even close.
I like Woody Marks.
David Montgomery, he stole time from Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery's getting older, but he still stole time from Jahmyr Gibbs because this guy runs even last season. Dude, he was having games over 100 yards. He had games with multiple touchdowns. He still does that.
I just think overall it's going to be a problem in Houston. And this is because they're a defensively coached team. I just think they don't have any CJ Stroud, when he was he had that I'm him moment and then melted last year. He just missed and Nico's good. I just don't know if that offense as a whole is going to be DFS friendly and best ball friendly. So yeah, I'm a seller. I'm a seller there. But who knows? Mine could be changed. Let's see what happens.
It's so early, dude. It's beginning of May. All right, that's it for me. Anything else though?
That's it. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back more NFL best ball, but also MLB.
Once I win this tournament today.
Come on. All right, later.